When you have a summit or any big diplomatic meeting, there's always a lot of talk about whether it's worth all the fuss, worth all the time and money, and there's certainly a lot of that talk here in Toronto. But I turn the question around and say, would we really be better off not having a summit like this? I think the question is not whether to have it or whether to spend the money, but how to use that precious time and attention from these top-level leaders. How to keep them from getting spread too thin or across too many issues, how to keep them focused on where their political will is needed, on keeping the agenda at the right pay grade. The question always gets asked whether meetings like this produce results, but if you're only looking for results in the form of a big major negotiated agreement, you're not going to find it because the result takes different forms on different issues. Take the balanced economic growth agenda, which is a relatively new agenda that's just forming, and already you can see that the pressure was on China to change the valuation of its currency. And I think that's a good example where you can see action, you can see government decisions affected even by something that's a broad and general norm and expectation. The global financial crisis sparked a realization among leaders that they needed everyone around the table to deal with it. The old established major economic powers as well as the new emerging powers. And eventually, leaders are going to reach the same realization for the political and security agenda that for the moment they're keeping off of the G20. Take, for example, the Brazilian and Turkish initiative on the Iranian nuclear program. At one level, that's a very live and hot issue. Gets dealt with in the UN Security Council. Well, actually, diplomatically, it gets talked about everywhere these days. But it really points not just to the immediate, but to the deeper issue of a lack of agreement about how to uphold the non-proliferation norm and the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. And those are the kind of differences for which you'll really have to have the established powers and the emerging powers all at the table together for the political and security agenda as well as the economic one.